podcast. We have the most creative person I've ever met in my life. Heather Pant is here to talk. But the reason I said that is because she's from Chicago, and I got a little a deep thing for Chicago too that I love. I love the fact that Chicago, you can't put ketchup on your hot dogs. I love Chicago deep dish pizza. Suck it, New York. There's a whole lot, but
hot dogs. Yeah.
But I love you, and I love what you paint, and I love what you do, and I love all the things we've talked about being creative and how you got to where you are. But anyways, okay. So all that aside, you're from Chicago, and you got some deep bluesy roots, and you play the guitar and you play harmonica, and
I played the banjo one time.
All right. What's on your easel? What's going on?
No, right now. Well, I have an announcement actually, which I would love to tell.
Woo!
Yeah, I was contacted by a gallery in Toronto on Yonge Street that's interested in having me show my work there. So I'm trying to get them 4 to 6 pieces this week.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it the best when they contact you and you don't have to go out
yes.
and schlock your stuff to a gallery, and they're always like, no, we don't need any more artists. And then they see you and go, oh, well, actually, you're really good. It's such a fallacy because every gallery would take an artist if they're good. If they think they could sell it, they take it. But they get 100 submissions a day.
I know.
They don't want to do that. So it's kind of a tough...
And there's like 1,000 billion great artists in Canada. So
Isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen I've seen some bad artists, but... most of them are pretty darn good.
Oh,
it blows me away, actually.
It does me too. And there are days that I wake up and feel like, oh, why am I doing this? There's 100 people better than me. Like, oh my God.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
That's exactly it. Don't do that.
Don't do comparisons. Don't let it infest your creativity, because it does.
Right?
It does. I've felt a difference. The more artists and the more art that I'm exposed to, the harder or more difficult it is for me to get in the zone.
It is. You always feel like you're in competition with someone.
And I don't want to do that. It's about the joy,
It is. Art is not a competition. Mm-mm. That's why I hate all these competitions that they have about, first, second, third place. It's like, you can have a competition, but who's the judge and who's judging this and what's the criteria and what, like...
You can't.
We're all just painting. Like there's no competition here. Just paint.
Paint. I was telling my class the other night, there's no, I don't know. There's no rules. I mean, there's rules, chemical rules, but you really can't apply too many rules because art is really your expression. It's what you want to show. So it's really difficult to tell someone that's not the right way. Because there is no right or wrong.
I so get that. And funny enough, I'm a rule teacher. I teach rules all the time. If anyone knows me, I'm like, here's a rule, here's a rule, here's a rule. I say they all can be broken.
Because they can.
They can be.
You can't.
But so often I get someone bringing me a painting going, okay, you have all these rules, but what about this? And I look at the painting and go, I don't know, broke every rule, or maybe there are no rules, but I go, do you like it? I like it. Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, whatever. Then it was art. I don't care.
Yeah.
Rules can help you succeed in art if you need some guidance to get somewhere, but at some point
it has
to go.
I'm a true believer in gifts. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but you know what you're born to do. So you should just do it. And I knew I was a painter.
Yeah,
I knew it since I was a kid.
This is a great story. You tell about your mom.
Yeah, okay. All right. I was adopted. And I was adopted to a lovely family. I had a great upbringing. My mother brought out all the creativity. Yeah, I was in Chicago. I was west of Chicago in a town called Elmhurst. And it's very cultured. We had a great exposure to art and everything. But my family was it was middle class, kind of upper middle class. My grandpa did really good and passed it down to my dad. But no, they weren't artsy at all.
What's your dad do though?
My dad, okay, my grandpa was the vice president of Illinois Bell, which was the telephone company. And my father, he went into meat packing, which is like really big in Chicago.
Absolutely.
So he was a meat packer. We used to eat steak like 3 times a week. It was like crazy.
Let's
Crazy
get some
amount
big
of protein.
sausages and eat us through
I'm
the
a big,
Bears.
strong
The
Viking
Bears.
woman. But yeah, they weren't creative. There was
What does your
no
mom
one
do?
in my
What does your
family.
mom do?
Well, she was a stay-at-home mom, and then she got into human services where she like took care of other people, like making sure people got meals and things like that. She was super loving and caring about the world.
Just like you.
Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, the older I got, the more I realized that I was a little different from everyone in my family. And I really, really wanted to find out who I was. I was dreaming that, you know, I was Johnny Carson from The Tonight Show's daughter. Or, you know, when you're adopted, you're like, who do I come from? It could be anybody, right?
Did you know you were adopted?
Yeah, they told me when I was, like, really young. They said they went and picked me out.
I'm adopted too,
Yeah.
so I totally get that because I was picked out too.
Yeah, I was like 6
I was in the
months
basket,
old.
but I already early on knew you got to shine right out of the gate. In that
Oh, yeah.
basket, you got to be like,
Oh yeah,
yo, right
yeah.
here, baby.
Yeah, you got to smile.
You do. You got to have that. No. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have a brother. He was adopted too. He's older than me.
Oh, so
yeah.
he's from a
From
different
another
family, but you
right?
guys.
But he's my brother. You know, we grew up together. We were both adopted at birth, so
That's cool.
he's my bro, and he has 7 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls.
So he was adopted out of a Mormon family then.
Yeah, probably.
Just kidding. So, but you guys get along. Is he creative at all?
Not at all. Not at all.
What does he do?
Well, he was actually a goalie in hockey for a long time. He was really good. He was state champion.
Okay, but that's
Now he raised his kids.
of all
He's-
the things you could do in hockey. Goalie is probably the most creative guy you could be.
Yeah, well,
You
all
gotta-
I know
you
is he
gotta-
was my
you gotta
brother.
learn ways to stop that puck. That's actually
Yeah.
creative. So
Yeah, but if you'd open up the closet door in our basement after a game, his equipment smelled so bad. It was sick. No, but so I knew I was different, and so I started to search, and I found my birth mother. And the cool thing about it was she was an artist living in New York, and I was an artist in Chicago. So we talked
tell us,
on the
how did
phone.
that go? What's that
Oh, it was just
conversation like?
so weird. It was so weird.
How do you, let's go back because I know podcasts should be about art, but I'm adopted too. So
Yeah,
I'm
but she's
interested
an
in this.
amazing artist.
How do you find your mom? Where do you look? What do you do?
Well, I
How do
found
you-
out that I was adopted through something called Catholic Charities, which was in Chicago at the time, and that's where my parents adopted me through. So I just contacted them and I said, what does a person have to do to find their birth mother? And she asked me my name and my birth date and where I was born and stuff. And she said, for $60 an hour, we can probably, locate her. And I was like, really? And I'm like, well, I'm not a rich person. Like, can you locate her in an hour? I didn't want to pay $60. So they did. She said, I have a feeling we will. And I don't know if she was looking on her computer or in a file, but she pretty much told me if I send the $60, she's going to send me some information.
And you called her
Yeah.
and you said,
Well,
You
no,
called?
they gave her, she called me. They wouldn't give me her information without talking to her
because
first.
they're not supposed to do that. They don't want.
She was upset because after she found out I was looking for her, she couldn't paint. Because she's a painter, right? So she
Like
was a
full-time
professional.
painter?
Yeah, she was a professional painter.
Wow.
So she called me right away, and we just started talking. She sounded exactly like me. It was so weird because my whole life, I found her when I was 31 years old. So for 31 years.
3 days ago.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, in my fantasy. No. She was very much like me, and almost every way. It was so weird.
So how your birth mother and father, how were they with? Do they know about this that you found her?
Oh yeah.
And how were they with?
Everybody knows now, but it was weird in the beginning. After we talked, I booked a ticket. I flew out to New York. It was my first time going to New York. I went there. I trusted her because I knew. You just kind of know.
Of course.
You know, in your blood, you kind of know. I trusted that I knew I came from somebody who had a heart.
Yes.
So I went to her house.
And how was that meeting?
I spent Thanksgiving with my birth mother at 31, when I was 31 years old.
Did you eat
in
turkey?
New York? Oh yeah, she showed me family recipes. We had all the drama, why and what happened and how could yous, and we did all that, and then we realized that the cool thing about it is she gave me the gift of art. I mean, she was an artist. I was but what's life without art? So. But she turned out to be a really fabulous artist. She was a teacher. Talk to her? Oh yeah, she lives in Portland now. She
what?
Moved, yeah,
Who
she
moved from New York to Portland.
Well, she moved. She had a big, huge solo show in New York, and it was during when 9/11 happened, and it just wrecked her. She lived in Manhattan, and it affected her a lot. Wow. I mean, that was a really devastating time, and. So she just she decided to move to an artist colony in Oregon. So that's where she went. So now she lives in Portland.
Wow.
She's come out here a few times. I've
she's
shown her around. Oh yeah,
you...
I took her to the galleries. We snooped around. We went to mountain galleries and poked around in there.
So you guys hang out. It's good. It's cool.
Yeah, it's weird.
So and so your mom and mom and dad, where are they?
Well, they're both passed on now.
Oh,
yeah, my dad died, and then my mom died. But I found her before my mom died.
So
but what the cool thing about all of it...
But you're not an orphan because you have another mom. How lucky are you?
Yeah, I got too many moms. I got his mom, too.
Suck it all, you with only one parent.
I keep getting blessed with mothers.
That's it. We got more moms. Moms rock.
Moms are awesome. But that's why I truly believe in the gift, because I know that I was genetically given or gifted from above or whatever.
I love that.
Yeah, because when I found my mom, she was an artist too. I mean, what are the odds of that? An artist in Chicago and an artist in New York.
That's unreal. I actually, that blows me away. But it leads me to.
And we paint the same kind of, which is weird.
Oh, do you?
Too.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Does she's a landscapey person?
She's really good. She's kind of old school, but. She's really good.
What's old school? What is?
I don't know. I don't know.
What's old school?
Old school is her palette is different. Her palette is.
Is she oil, acrylic?
No,
watercolor?
Okay. She started in acrylics. That's another thing. She was an acrylic painter, and I was an oil painter. I started in oils. I never did acrylics.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You did oils and then went to acrylics.
Well,
That's
she
backwards.
convinced me to try acrylics. Okay, and I was anti-acrylic for so long, and then when I tried it. I was like, this stuff is so dry. I can't paint with this, like chalky, heavy, dry.
Isn't it gross?
There's no oil. It's not smooth,
and
like ice cream.
Disease. You get lesions on your face when you paint in acrylic.
Don't say that.
I know.
I have very good skin.
Suicontini, I love you. She came in my class the other day and saved my ass on an acrylic painting and did these rays of sunlight. Oh my God, she's a goddess. And whatever. Okay, all you acrylic painters,
really
I love
she's
you.
Really good.
You have your things. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll back down.
No, you know what? Oil is cool. Oil is great in every way except glaze.
Oh no, ask Sue. She just glazed the painting. Yeah. She glazed like
you can change the entire painting. You can
glaze and glaze and
you can take a whole painting and be like, it's just not warm enough. You can take some yellow ochre and some glaze and go over it with a shimmer, and it will just warm it up. The whole thing. Right? You still have all your color. You still have everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the magic right there.
All right, so
the little nuggets.
husking corn and feeding cattle and living in Chicago and
city girl, totally city girl.
The Bears and
No, I'm a city girl. I grew up. I went to school for advertising illustration.
How do you end up in Calgary from Chicago?
Well, that's because of my
Do you have
handsome
dual
husband.
citizenship?
Actually, any minute. I'm still not a citizen.
You're not a citizen of Canada.
I'm a permanent resident.
And
but
thank you
I've
for
applied. No,
attending
I've
this podcast. We are
applied.
now done.
I've
Out.
applied. Wait, Doug. No.
Okay.
No, I applied, and I'm waiting. It's like any minute.
So you're
minute.
not even Canadian.
Well, I am Canadian. I've been here, 15 years, 14 years.
And
I'm
enough,
way more
that's
Canadian.
Enough for us Canadians that
I'm Canadian.
you're
I
probably
love
more
this
Canadian
country.
than you're Chicago.
I love this country.
Chicagoanite?
Oh,
I don't know, Chicagonian.
Canada.
Cam, where are you? Cam, Cam's from Chicago? Chicagonian? I don't know.
I'm a Flames fan.
Yes, all right, that's enough for me right
How
there.
about that?
All right. You can still root for the Bears, that's okay.
Yeah.
They're sort of my third team.
Bears.
It's all
the
good.
Bears.
So how do you get to Canada? How do you get married to your sexy husband?
It's a long story, but to make it short, my husband and I met when we were 15. We went to high school in Arizona. My parents
Arizona?
Yeah, my
What?
parents shipped me out to boarding school, and his parents shipped him out from Calgary to boarding school. And
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He's not on camera, but he's sitting right here.
Yeah.
The sexy beast.
Yes.
You got shipped from Calgary to Arizona to boarding school? Yes. So you're both nasty kids and the parents want to get rid of you.
We weren't bad. Yeah. You know, it was just straighten up or we're going to send you to boarding school. And I said, well, which one? Can I pick it? And they said, well, yeah, I guess, if you want to pick it.
It was called the Villa Oasis.
The Villa Oasis.
Yes, it had horseback riding
right.
and trips to Mexico, and it was very educational.
Apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's where I met him, and he, you know, after school was out, he went back to Calgary. I went back to Chicago, and then he got married. I got married. He got divorced. I got divorced, and then years later, I typed in his name. We were talking about first crushes, and I typed his name in the Google, and boom, there he was. And I was like, wow. So I said, do you remember me? And he was like, yeah. And then we started talking, and I flew out here, and, you know, we did the back and forth thing. And then, I don't know, when I saw Banff, and all those mountains and the beautiful skies and all the shadows and the trees. And then I saw a moose, and I just fell in love with this land.
All right.
And then he said, will you marry me? And I said, yeah.
Oh, you're such a stud.
Truth be told, I never saw anyone appreciate beauty as much as she did. And it made my heart sing, you know, because it's like, you drive to Banff, you have family or friends come over, and they're looking around or talking, and she was just like, wow.
No, I was like a kid in a candy store. This is paradise for a painter.
It is.
Honestly.
Absolutely it is.
I mean, it's like, come on. You took me out of Chicago?
I've said Calgary is probably the 100% one of the greatest places ever to live as a landscape artist.
Yeah.
Because you could do anything in this city right here that has cityscapes.
Yeah.
We can have anything that Chicago could provide that way. 20 minutes east, you can do flat prairie, do anything farm you want. 20, 30 minutes west, you can do mountains. In 10 hours, you can get to the ocean. You could paint anything in the ocean.
Yeah.
You can get to Portland, Seattle, Washington. You can go to Whistler. And you can go to Lake
The
Louise.
land and the way the land changes.
Come on, you can get to just go south past Longview.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
In a one-day drive.
It's like
Everything's in a
rivers.
one-day drive.
You
You're
got
right,
rivers,
one-day
lakes, you got mountains, you got the prairies, you got everything
You
here.
can go every direction you want. It
And the
is. It's absolutely beautiful
skies,
here.
the
This is the place
sky
to be.
here is so beautiful.
It is.
And it's so big, it freaks me out.
It is.
Coming from
Suck
the
it,
Midwest.
Wyoming. Suck it.
Who are you saying suck it to?
Wyoming.
Oh, yeah, Wyoming.
That's good there. It's okay, but, you know.
It's pretty, but
But it's not Canada.
it's not this area at all. This is heaven right here.
All right.
Honestly.
All right. So
I would fight for this land.
What's on your easel right now? What's going on?
Right now, I have a 36 by 36 of a beautiful waterfall coming right at you. Doing some cool stuff right now. I'm working on a tree, which I'm probably going to put up for auction tomorrow to raise some money for JDRF. JDRF?
What's JDRF?
Junior
Doug Swinton Fund?
Yes,
I love
yes.
that.
No, it's for
I could
child.
use
It's
some of
for
that.
children's diabetes.
Oh, that's
My
so good of
stepson
you.
was a diabetic,
See,
and
you're
he's
so good about doing stuff like that. You're always involved with that.
yeah. Well, I can't say no either. I mean, my heart goes out
Isn't
to.
that an artist thing? It's hard to say no.
Yeah, it's like you love it. You
And
really
they all-
love
but-
it.
and-
Okay,
and-
here you can have it.
And I think they know that because they call us all the time.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many calls, things I get to, could you donate? Could you donate? And I'm always like, I want.
It's so hard. They have no idea how stressful it can be. But you know what? The thing is, I believe in that. I love it because it's like giving back. Because
It is.
I feel like I got a gift. It's easier for me to paint something, and if it can help a child or somebody who's in trouble, and that makes it all worthwhile. All of it.
I mean, I would
know?
love to be Jeff Bezos and have enough money to give everybody and be a philanthropist and give money out left, right, and center. I got $0. But what I do have is I do have a bit of time and I do have a skill that can bring you money, and I don't mind doing that. But, it does get
No, I
taxing
just wish I
sometimes.
was an octopus and I had 8 arms with 8 paintbrushes, and then I could make sure everybody has a painting.
The Medusa of painting. That would be
My whole
so
family in
cool.
Chicago's so mad at me because they're like, when am I going to get a painting? When am I going to get a painting? I'm like, you know
Here
what?
and
I
then,
don't even have a painting.
Which all leads to how stressful is it to be an artist? You think everyone goes, oh, yay, you're an artist. Oh, it must be nice. Banker's hours. Oh, you get to make your own time. Oh,
Yeah.
every day is a no pants day. It's like you have no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Actually, the funny thing is that though for me, I don't know about you, but for me, I have to force the painting. I have to actually go, no, shut the, I'm painting. I need to paint. Because there's all the other things
there's
you have
so
to do.
much.
The
There's so
bookkeeping,
much.
the promotion, the
answering
and then
emails,
I
the
sold some stuff. I have to
sessions.
sell it and this and that. And then I need to teach a little to supplement my income. And then my husband needs food. He's hungry and starving. And no chime in there? Okay, fine.
he was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, I'm getting fed later. I thought he was going, I do all the cooking. I thought you might chime in, buddy.
Oh, that
Okay,
would be so
disappointed.
cool.
But anyways, no, the whole deal is that I quite often think that 90% of people think that painting is way more romantic than it really is, and the stress of all the shit you have to do because you're a one-man band.
Yeah.
And you need to find the time to paint as
Yeah.
well. It's
Yeah. And also, it's like I have like multiple personality problem with painting. Like I'm three different kinds of artists in my head. So like I have the really serious artist who's like, it has to be a masterpiece. You know what I mean? Like I'm like challenging myself to go deeper and deeper into what I'm working on. But then I have the playful one who just wants to go, woo, fun little trees springing out. And then there's the other artist who's like a combo of both, and the mixture doesn't work. So I like get wrapped up in it all the time. Like,
That's
which
the
way
one
do
that
I
fights.
go?
That's
Which
the
way
one
do
that
I-
you never know which way to go with the painting, and you
Yeah.
fight it.
Yeah.
And they sit on your easel for a while going,
You keep looking
I'm not
at
sure
it.
what I'm doing with this. Where was I going?
Yeah, yeah. And like my husband, he's like, when are you going to finish that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just keep looking at it going, it needs this, or it needs, maybe I should do this.
Do you ever let them, do they talk
Yeah.
to you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you wait and let the painting talk to you?
You know what? Like today I was working on this tree painting and I was like, I did the background. I just kind of let it's almost like whatever's going to happen in a sky just happens. It's like, I put in the colors, and sometimes just the way you brush stroke, you see a hole that needs to be there, a circle or some type of
They speak to
movement.
you.
Yeah, and you just go with it. And I tell my students all the time, it's the best thing to do is just really pay attention to your canvas, because you might paint right over the perfect little thing that happened. You have to be able to recognize those cool little strokes that pop out. You have to catch them, and then you have to enhance them so they can show through.
Oh, and you try to do more and it never works, but you got to leave the ones that are glorious, and you gotta. I mean, I've said 100 times, I've probably painted over the best brush marks I've ever had in my life, because I tried to save
To
that
change
brush mark because
something,
it's
or
so good. But
and then you end up going around and then messing it up.
You lose it, but you're like, oh God! At one point, that was so glorious.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It happens.
I
But
know.
if you could recognize, and the more you paint, the more you recognize it.
All
It's
right.
like little gifts.
All right.
Yeah.
Where are you going? Where's your goal? What do you want to learn? What's going on? What's next?
I don't know,
What's itchy? What itches you and goes, oh, I'd love to do this.
There's one thing that I've kind of wanted to do since I've been to Calgary, and that's I know every artist wants to open up their own gallery, okay? But I want to open up like a school of art with a gallery. Do you know what I mean? Like a place where people can go and they can paint, and then they can sell it there too, like a community gallery.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a dream. I think that the biggest thing that's happening in the art community right now is a need for the bridge between, if you can get this, a bridge between the community center painters that have little art shows in their community center, and they're good, and they're learning, and they need to sell a little bit, and then galleries. But there's a whole in between. That in between is the sweet spot. It is for where most people artists are really good. They're not so good they could be in a gallery, but they're above a community center painter, and they're so good. They are. They're so good. And they need to be recognized. And there's no way to recognize them. And they don't maybe paint all the time, but they have enough paintings they could. Yeah. This is what Vale's Greenhouse, Leighton Center. Yeah, those places are awesome. These are catering to these artists that sell at a reduced price, not as low as a community center price, but they're damn good. Yeah. That's like Michelle the place. Holland at Art on 9th. That's her whole gig. Yeah, man. she's rocking it. She's rocking it. She's rocking it. And that's, you got the right idea. This is, and you have the personality to do it too. Well, yeah, but welcome to. Oh, guess what? Now I won't paint at all. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. That's the struggle. Okay, boss. I love to teach. Up. Front door man, Walmart greeter. Let's do it.
I was gonna say.
Oh, he would be a really good salesman for art.
He would be.
That's, talking about humble beginnings. We did a rhubarb fest.
Yeah, I did a rhubarb fest once. My paintings were blowing away. They were blowing in the wind.
Rhubarb fest.
It was in this community in the southwest.
It was like 10 years ago. I did the rhubarb fest.
Pies and everything, and they contacted Heather. This is before any of the galleries or anything.
Nobody knew me when I came here. Nobody knew who I was, so I had to establish myself really fast. Yeah. I couldn't even get into.
You were going to show up in Calgary and everybody knew you were from
I thought
Chicago?
I could join an art league or something, right?
So we rented 10 easels.
Yeah, I just threw up all my paintings.
Put all the paintings up at the Rhubarb Fest, and people were eating their rhubarb and looking at their paintings. We were selling them for $300 a pop.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I had
love
to
the
build
idea. Rhubarb Fest, pies and paintings.
Yeah.
That's what
you know what? I was like the
pies and paintings. That's
you know what,
need.
Doug? I was trying so hard to make a living, and as a painter, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to live by my brush. But, you got to get out there, and you can't be afraid of anybody. I mean, I literally stood on, this is serious stuff. I stood on street corners with paintings.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
I wasn't afraid to do it. And you know what? I survived on it. And every time I sold a painting, I would take the money and I would reinvest in myself and buy more art supplies. And then I would sell a painting and buy more. And I just kept doing it. And it kept rolling. And I was like, oh, I'm onto something here. And I was in a good spot. I was in a really good spot as an artist because I was in full control of everything. And I was stuffing cash in my bras, okay? I was stuffing cash.
Everyone was paying cash.
I was banking from just selling on the street.
All right.
Okay.
Love it.
And then when I went into the galleries, you know, that was a whole nother world. It's a whole nother ball game,
Oh, it is totally.
but it's still fun.
Oh no,
It's still fun. I need.
It's a toss.
Yeah.
You work your ass off on your own, but it's
Right.
all you. Everything. You go to a gallery.
You get some help. You get some help
You
selling.
get some help, but you pay money for that help.
Right.
And so where does
Right.
the thing go? So my thing is, I 100%. I agree with both worlds. Both worlds work
Yeah.
for everyone. You want to do it on your own. You want to be in the Stampede. You want to do this. You want to sit in your booth. You want to sell your
Yeah,
art.
do it.
So first of all, I'm the worst salesman of my own art in the world. So I probably shouldn't do
I
that.
think most artists are.
Because everything I paint sucks and I hate it.
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah,
oh my God, look
yeah.
at that, so bad.
Yeah.
And they always say, my art teacher always said to me, he goes, everybody says that. Pick out one spot that you like in your painting. So when they ask you something, you go, oh, I particularly like this spot right here. It fell together. It was really good.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't care if you're selling them down the river. Just say something good. Nobody wants to go, I'm about to buy this painting in here. Well, oh, it sucks. I hate it. Whatever. That's my worst piece. No. Why are you hanging? Anyways, all of that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So there's two camps. You can do all that promotion yourself and do all the work yourself.
Yeah, or you can have
give it
some
to a
help.
gallery. So for me, gallery's always been my route, but because I need more time to paint, I
Yes.
don't have the time to be
sell.
marketing and selling.
Exactly.
I just need to paint. I also have a job. I run stuff and have
Right.
multiple dependents that are leeches and suck the life out of you.
Oh, I
for
know. I
everything
had them
you
too.
have.
I had
As the
dependents.
podcast guy looks at me
I
going,
understand that.
You're such a dick, dude. You're such a dick.
No, but this is a
Go
product.
Ryan,
This
he's
is
the
a
best.
product
Now,
of your
Ryan,
brush.
Call Ryan. RION, podcast.com. He's the best. Free plug. Anyways, no, you're right. But the whole talk is
www.heatherpant.com.
right? This is so good. It's so much work being a full-time artist. No one has no idea how much work that it is.
Yeah, but it's so beautiful too.
Isn't it?
It's a fabulous journey because you're doing what you really love doing.
It is.
It's like the puzzle is the part that I like.
All right. Well, so thank you for coming. We love what you're doing. And they're going to see all your pictures. They're going to see everything that you do. I hope you all just go visit Heather Pant. Dude, you're so creative. I love what you do.
Thank you. I love your stuff too. I really do. They asked me to do a painting thing with you, to do some battle with you. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. I will never paint up with
That
you.
would be weird,
You
'cause-
are an amazing painter.
Oh, no, you're an amazing, but we
No.
paint so different, but that would be kind of cool.
Well, yeah, and I thought
if
about
we
it
had
and
the
I was
same
like,
photo to see what we'd get out of the
yeah,
same photo.
that would be kind of cool. That'd be cool.
Because we are in the same wavelength, but we're totally different at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It'd be cool.
anyways, thank you for coming and drinking and hanging out and yakking to us. God, I love you. You're awesome. And all right, stay tuned for
Website?
more podcasts. Oh, what's your website? Say everything.
www.heatherpant.com.
What about Instagram?
Instagram, artist Heather Pant.
Social, any other Facebook?
Facebook, Heather Pant Artist.
What about TikTok? Heather
No,
Pant?
I don't do any of that
Come on,
stuff.
you do
I don't have
30-second
time. I got a
TikTok.
lot of painting to do.
Oh my God! Could there be another platform that we need?
I don't have time. I can't even keep up with what I got. I'm just doing the best I can.
All right, so check my husband. He'll take care of all that.
Yeah,
He's my
yeah,
marketer.
yeah, yeah.
We love
Just,
you.
you know
Say
what?
goodnight, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
All right.
Good night, Bob.
We love you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. I so appreciate you being on our podcast.
No problem. It was awesome.
All right.
Thank you.